So happy Sunday morning. We're going to start on our backs with a block the long way. Lift up your hips first and then put the block underneath your sacrum. Spread your feet, pinkies to the edge of the mat, pinky toes. And then just take your arms out by your side, palms face up. So the knees can touch or not touch. They're kind of knocked in. So there's a little internal rotation of the hip. And just breathe from belly, ribs, and chest. Just start to feel the movement expanding through the belly, ribs, and chest, and expanding the side body as well. And try to release the glutes from having any engagement. And just soften, and just come into some stillness, and come into some peace and quiet and awareness. So a few rounds here just to bring us onto the mats this morning. And again, awareness of your body, what's happening in your body, awareness of your breath. And try not to have awareness of the other things going on around us, right? Try to keep some stillness. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way over your head, but go to a V, so a little bit wider, to the edges of your mat as well. And if at any point being on the block makes this too much on your lower back, too much stress, then you can back off or bring the arms back down. Inhale, begin to bring your legs so they line up, the heels line up with the sitting bones. So now into a neutral position. Inhale, bring your right leg into a 90 degrees bend at the knee, 90-degree bend at the hip. So right over your hip, not over your chest, where it seems to be more comfortable for many of us. Extend the right leg out and lower it on the floor. And then use your heel against the floor or the mat to draw the leg back in, right underneath or in line with your sitting bones. Inhale, bring your left leg up, 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee. Exhale, extend the leg out on the floor and draw it back in. So it's like you're dragging your heels. Don't drag your heels. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, extend the right leg out, lower it, and drag it back in. So your hamstrings start to say good morning. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, extend it out, and draw a circle back in. Let's do two more on each side. Inhale, lift your right leg. Extend your right leg and lower to the floor. Bring it back in by dragging the heels. Inhale, and exhale. Do the other side. So we're going to go to low battery mode. And I think I'm going to record this as well. Okay. All right, so we've got one more on each side, just in case my video comes off. Right leg up, extend it, and drag it back in. Left leg up, extend it, and drag it back in. Both feet placed on the floor. Arms are back down by your side. Press your heels down into the floor. Tilt your pelvis and lift your hips up off the pelvis, off the block, but keep the block there. Inhale, stretch the arms over your head and walk your feet a little bit more forward. It doesn't have to be too much, just enough to feel those hamstrings that we just activated. Exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms, and relax. Tilt your pelvis. Kind of arch your back here. Inhale at the same time now. Lift your hips and lift your arms. Exhale, lower down onto the block. Release your arms. Relax your hips. 2 more times. Inhale, lift your hips, arms up, same time. Press firmly into your toes. Exhale, articulate down. One more time, inhale, lift up. Stay up this time. Exhale, bring your hands down, grab a hold of the block, move it off to the side, and articulate your spine down. So just move the block away from you, hug your knees into your chest. You can keep your knees as wide as your hips, or maybe even wider. Place one hand on the thigh on the right side, one hand on the left side, and make circles, big opposing circles. And reverse that. Moving to an easy twist, early on in our practice. Take your feet back down as wide as the mat. Open your arms to a T. Shift your hips right and let your knees fall over to the left side. And just let them go where they go. The legs go where they go. No force. You don't have to put the foot on top of the thigh. You're more than welcome to do that. You can save that for later. Inhale, come back to the center. Shift your hips to the left and let your knees fall to the right. Inhale, return to the center. Heel toe your feet in line with your hips. One more time. Exhale, bring your right knee now all the way into your chest. Extend your left leg on the floor. Dig the heel towards the floor. Pull the right knee a little bit more off to the right side, so a little bit more to your rib cage. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Hold it where it goes. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, as mine is not, you'll see. Grab your hands around your calves or your thigh or your foot for some. Inhale. Lift your head and shoulders up. Exhale. Lift your left leg off the floor. Pull the belly in. And then release your hands. Lift up for 3, 2, 1. Head down, knee to the chest. Take your left hand and guide the left leg across the body. A little bit deeper twist now. Inhale, return to center, hug your right knee to your chest. Exhale, extend both legs on the floor. Inhale, draw the heels in like we did earlier, just drag them against your mat. Exhale, bring your left knee to your chest or a little bit more to the left side. Good, now extend the right leg back out. And extend your left leg in the air. Flex and point through the ankle. Roll it a little bit. Make sure you're not holding onto your knee, but anywhere else is fine. Take your hands a little higher or stay where they are. Lift your head and shoulders up, and perhaps you want to lift your right leg up. Perhaps you want to let go of your arms for 3, 2, 1. Lower your head, lower your right leg, and bend your left knee to your chest. Exhale, twist over to the right side. Simple spinal twist, but maybe a little bit more involved than the last one. Inhale, return to your back. Exhale, both knees to your chest. Head and shoulders lift up. Flex your feet. Grab a hold of the bottoms of your feet and pull yourself really tight and close. As you hold on to the bottoms of your feet or your shins, your calves, or under your thighs, start to rock and roll until you find yourself in a seated position, and then stretch your legs out in front of you one more time. Good. Good. All right, separate your feet the width of your mat, so it's not too wide. Move all your, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was so busy working on the other thing. All right. So your legs are as wide as the short edge of your mat. If you need a strap or towel to assist you in this, have one nearby. Place your hands by towards your knees so you can draw the mat back and engage some muscle in the back body and sit up nice and tall. Just this position here requires a lot of core stability and strength. Inhale. Exhale. Now, keep your spine long and creep your fingers forward towards your feet. And you may touch them, you may not get anywhere near them. That's okay. So we're finding a little bit of hamstring work today. Inhale. Exhale, continue to creep a little forward, but keep your spine long. So once you start coming into this position, you just in it too far today. Good. Inhale, take your left hand to the inside of the right thigh. Breathe in, or the ankle, shin, and exhale a little bit deeper. Inhale. Keeping that long spine, release your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale. Good. Exhale, we're going to do it to the other side. So right hand inside, left hand outside. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, return to the center. Take a little bit deeper press. Breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands back in. Place your hands behind you, fingers in either direction. Bend your knees, line up your heel with your sitting bones. Inhale, lift your hips up off the floor, point your knees forward. Exhale, come on down to the seat. Cross either ankle in front. Come to your hands and knees, tabletop position. Inhale, tuck your toes, dip your belly. Exhale, round and curl chin to chest. Inhale, arch your back, dip your belly, tuck your toes. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, arch your back, dip your belly. As you round and curl, think about pulling the arms, pushing them into the earth and spreading your shoulders apart. Inhale, come back to your neutral position. Open your knees as wide as your mat, touch your toes together, and push your hips all the way back to your heels. Inhale, and exhale. Press firmly into the palms, lift the underarms, support your shoulders, find a little action in the center. Inhale, lift your chest, walk to the right side, left arm on top. Inhale, lift up and move to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, pull yourself up onto your hands and knees. If you have two blocks, place one on either side of the front of your mat. Step your right foot back behind you, toes tuck underneath you. Your hands can be on the floor blocks right now. Make sure you don't have long enough spine that or arms that your back arches. So keep your hips parallel. Lift your right leg up in the air. Point your toe lift a little higher. Exhale, knee to chest, round and curl, and send your right leg forward on your mat. So like we did the dragging of the heel in on our backs on the block, imagine that you're dragging your right heel back towards your left thigh or towards the back of your space. Inhale, shoulders back, broaden the collarbones. Good, just drop the left hip down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, straighten your legs. Let's take the blocks on their high side if you have it. Toes lift up. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, if you're here and you think, well, I can just put my blocks down, then we'll do that. So I think I'm going to have to take this. We'll see if we're getting any business here. Should be on charge, so I don't know why it's happening. But anyway, hamstring stretch. One more breath as we move the blocks forward again. Rebend your knee. You can change the height of the blocks. Tuck your left toes underneath you. Keep your hips low. Lift your knee off the floor. Good. Hug your right hip towards your center. Good. Inhale. Now we're going to take the blocks up high again. Move back a little bit with them and straighten your front leg. Pull your right hip back. Left hip forward, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lift your right toes up off the floor. Keep the length in your spine, inhale. Exhale. Keep your toes up, inhale. Turn to your left side, you can have a block come with you. Any height, lengthen your spine. So you might have to adjust your feet so that they're level to each other. Shift your weight a little forward so that we're not putting pressure back here behind our knees. Inhale, keep your left hand on the block. Right arm comes up, and again, if you don't have a block, keep your hand on the floor. Try not to move your hips from side to side, so you might not get as big of a rotation as you'd like. Just go to the point where you're level, and you have a little bit of opening in the chest shoulder. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Hug your hips in. Good, empty the breath, hands on the block. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Place your hands to your hips and rise up to standing. Wide legs, turn the toes open. Inhale, stretch your arms out to a T. Bend your arms, exhale, bend your knees. Tailbone underneath you. Press your feet down, like in towards each other and apart at the same time. This is a lot of action going on down here. Inhale, straighten your arms and legs. Exhale, bend the arms and knees. So you don't have to go too far down. Just don't lose your form. Inhale, press up. Exhale, bend the arms, bend the knees. Place your hands on your thighs, hinge forward. Press your right shoulder forward. Inhale, center, press your left shoulder forward. Inhale to center. Release your hands to the floor. Spin around to the front of your mat. Back leg is straight. Hands on the floor now or blocks. Step back with the right leg. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time and walk your dog out. Inhale, rise on your tippy toes. Shift into a plank. Lower your right knee to the floor. Left leg stays back behind you. Press the right top of the foot and shin down. Lift your left leg in the air. Hips are squared. And then point the toe, lift a little higher. Exhale, round and curl the knee to the chest. And step your left leg forward. Move your right leg back. Hands on the blocks to lift your torso up a little higher. Shoulders back. Draw the left heel backwards. So you've got that activation in the back of the body or the back of the leg. Good. Breathe. Keep your chest lifted. Inhale and exhale. Just settle into some stillness and good hip extension. Inhale, bring your blocks back a little bit back, further and straighter or higher. And then straighten your left leg. The best of your ability. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Stay with it. I mean, if the blocks on their highest height doesn't work for you, go lower. You know, if you don't need them that high, that's okay. But it's good, you know, we want to keep the torso as elevated as we can so we're not collapsing onto the thigh. Inhale, rebend your front knee, move the blocks with you. Let's do it easier this way. Well, let's start up here. Tuck your right toes underneath you and lift your right knee off the floor. Stay in that long spine, stay in that long back leg. So your right heel should be somewhere over your toes. Lift the kneecap up, drop the right hip down. Exhale, once again, move the blocks with you and straighten your front leg. Toes up or down, you choose. Pull the left hip back and up, right hip down and forward. Inhale. And exhale. You can keep your toes up now. And take your block with you on the right side to turn over to the right side. And place your block between your 2 feet. Adjust your feet because they're not going to be on train tracks. Or now we actually want them parallel to each other. Inhale, lengthen your spine. So move your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, once again, stretch your right leg in the right arm in the air, excuse me. Hug your hips in. Exhale, right hand down, left arm comes up. Good. Release the hands to the block. Inhale, lengthen. This time let's just fold over. Grab a hold of the outer ankle or the outside of your foot. Let your head come down towards the floor. So as if you were going to put your head on the floor for a headstand. Inhale, look forward. Release your hands to your hips. Rise up to standing. Turn your toes out. Open your arms shoulder height. Your hands should be over your ankles, right? Inhale. Bend your arms. Bend your knees. Exhale. Inhale, press down, straighten up arms and legs. Exhale, bend arms and legs. Inhale, straighten arms and legs. Exhale, bend your arms, bend your legs, sit down, and then take your hands on your thighs, hinge forward. Right shoulder presses in. Inhale, left shoulder presses in. Exhale, come to center. Release your hands. Creep around to the front of the mat. Left leg meets right at the back of the mat, hips in the air. Downward facing dog. Do what you need to in dog. Find your downward facing dog. Soften your knees. Walk your hands to your feet at the back of your mat. Standing forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you'd like or need to. Let your head come down to the floor. Shake out your neck, yes and no. Get rid of any tension. Press firmly into your feet. Pull your belly to your spine. And as you do that, start to release your fingers from the floor and roll slowly up. As you come up to standing, roll the shoulders back and around. Release the arms down by your side. Good. So find a place of firmness, stillness in your stand, your mountain pose. You can have your feet closer or further apart. How do you like to stand, right? As long as you're not standing with, what I call Pavasana. All right. Put your weight in your left leg and lift your right heel up. Just lift the heel up. Don't go any further than that. Then hug in your left leg. Good. Inhale, bring your right leg up. 90-90. We did this on our backs. Extend the right leg out as you exhale. Lower the foot, and drag it back in. Remember that? We did this on our backs. Inhale, lift your left leg in the air.